Jam.
Oh, we're live, pal. Yeah, here it is. So, it is Bret Hitman Hart, or Hitman Hart, Wrestling with Shadows, live commentary with the excellence. Some people call him the excellence of sexecution. No, they don't. It's Al, the Batman Lucard. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing well. How are you, Matthew?
I'm good. I'm sorry for dropping that terrible nickname on you.
Hey, whatever works.
Yeah, it's yeah. I'll put you over later on in the chat. I'll say how great you are later on, and then I'll bury you later on. Yeah, that's right, guys. We're shooting.
That's right, baby.
This is it. This is live. This is uncensored. We're shooting from the hip. We're shooting from the lip. And we're talking about my favorite wrestler of all time. I believe your favorite wrestler of all time.
Indeed.
And we probably bonded over Bret Hart early into our friendship, and he's just incredible guy. I was literally just saying that the first time I met a genuine hero of mine, and he didn't let me down, and I was just like, that's, not everybody has the same experience with people. People have off days, what have you, but for me, he was really cool, like gentle, friendly, just calm, just a real solid person. And he was really nice to my wife as well, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, so from day one, there's just something special about Bret Hart when you watch him in the ring, even when he was wearing his blue tights. And it's just something about him. He always takes himself too seriously, blah, blah, blah. Right, okay. I don't know if he does, because some things he takes seriously, but I think he's got a great sense of humor, and I think a really interesting personality. And this is one of the rare occasions where, for somehow, he managed to get a camera crew to just be able to follow him around in what happened to be the most tumultuous part of his career. So, what brought you to Bret Hart, like as a fan? And then maybe tell us a little bit about your thoughts on this documentary before we get started.
Well, okay, so let's go back to when I was a little kid now. So
okay, done it.
Back then, as you probably know, tag team wrestling was the bomb. It was just so good, and of course, the Hart Foundation was a big part of that. And their matches with like the Bulldogs and Demolition, all these like awesome, the Rockers, like they just blew me away, right? So I loved the Hart Foundation when I was a kid. I loved them. Then when I was 10, I went to my first live wrestling show. It was a WWF house show in New Orleans, and as we were pulling up, we were behind Bret and Anvil in the car. Nice. They were right in front of us. So I like freaked out. I was like, oh my God, it's Bret Hart and Jim Neidhart. Oh my God, And
wow.
Yeah, so from that moment on, I was just a massive fan of Bret, and I followed him through his entire wrestling career from then, from kind of then on.
Oh, so wow.
And even when he was heel, I love him.
He's a heel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I mean, he was only a heel to you, horrible Americans. To us around the world, he was still a hero.
He was still y'all's hero. That's right.
Yeah.
and to me as well, because I was like, let's go Canada. I mean, I'm French Canadian, so Yeah.
It was hard to. You're a fabulous French Canadian, but one of the hardest things was that I desperately wanted to get on board the Steve Austin train because he was so cool and amazing, and I think I just became a fan of him and was like, I think I know I'm getting something special because these two guys are fighting each other, so I can kind of support both of them, but that's the only time it was my love of Bret as number one was ever really tested, because Stone Cold crossed over to like people who didn't know wrestling, and I know that was the same for Hulk Hogan, but we were like people of our age, we were much younger when that happened, and we didn't know what was cool and what wasn't cool because we were so young. It was just like Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior,
Hulk
blah
Hogan
blah.
was, yeah, right, yeah.
But at Attitude Era, we're like teenagers, and we're like, oh, people are talking about wrestling, and like, yeah. So it was a weird moment where I was my love of Bret as number one was kind of just tested by Stone Cold Steve Austin, showing the power of him really as a character.
Yeah.
And that's my favorite match of all time, WrestleMania 13. That submission match has everything. So this documentary, I would put this alongside Beyond the Mat as like ones that people can watch who don't like wrestling and find it really enthralling and interesting. Would you say, or not?
I would definitely say I would definitely say both of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing that fascinates me about this one is just the fact that they had all these cameras rolling and stuff, and all this crazy stuff was really happening backstage. So
Yeah.
like they caught all this insane footage and just it's complete madness.
It's bonkers.
It's and it's a miracle that this was
Yeah.
happening.
How did that?
While
Yeah,
that
how
was
did
going on.
Vince allow? Like you just said, get the hell out of here, like on day one,
Yeah.
like you just expect to be like that. So yeah, it's mad. Really, it feels like you shouldn't be there. It feels like you shouldn't be watching it. Whereas Beyond the Mat's a different experience. It's like in a way a lot more fun. There's a little bit of Foley there that's a bit more like, oh, this is a character that I'm interested in his backstory, and then kind of got a little bit more of behind the curtain with him on the actual show. These documentaries, I guess, we're kind of we're at that point where bad guys and good guys, kind of conversation that Vince had to change things a little bit, and maybe they were letting people in. But even now, it's exciting. There's a documentary about to come out on Netflix in about a few weeks' time, where it's like we're going to let you behind the curtain. We're going to see how we write this. We're going to see how it works. But like people are still excited in breaking kayfabe, even though a lot of people, like say James E. Cornette, might say that it's been long gone. So this still is, I think, quite an exciting film. In the sense of it still feels quite transgressive to be watching it. If you're a wrestling fan, like you shouldn't be watching it. By the way, hello to everybody who's popped up in the chat: Ash's Antics, Vanessa, Epcot, Echo, Cero, Professor Macabro. Great to see all of you pop up on the screen there, and I don't even have to remember to click on the comments because so be nice to each other in there, guys. Don't be excellently executing people, because my eyesight's not good enough to read what's popping up on screen. You could be saying anything about Al and there and that.
Right.
So, okay, I'm going to do a little challenge before we start. So, I was thinking before, what can I do that is? We were talking before we went on. Like, can I excellently execute anything? And the answer is probably not. The only thing I could think is, right, so I poured myself a pint of Guinness because it's Friday, and I'm like, okay. Now, I did a video on this recently. Maybe you guys might know. So splitting the G is a big thing in the UK. I don't know if it is in America. So I've got to drink until the line of the Guinness goes down to split the letter G on my thing. So if I can do that perfectly, I feel like it's in Bret's honor. Obviously, I'm pairing it with the only snack that goes well with Guinness, which is bacon fries.
Bacon fries. There you go.
Don't at me.
No, you mean no poutine? No
poutine. No ranch lays or whatever it was that they have in Canada. I actually wouldn't mind trying it, both of those things. I think Rob told me poutine's pretty good. So yeah.
I've had authentic poutine. I haven't been to Canada. I really would like to go to Canada.
Oh, I would love to go to the Canadian Stampede, man.
Yeah. But I have had genuine poutine, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
So do you know what's really weird? My favourite football team, Stockport County, our all-time record goal scorer went over to Canada and became a Mountie. and he's from Birmingham, and I think he was in Calgary. And my auntie, and nobody from our family has ever travelled. My auntie, this is in the 60s, 70s, got a job. Her husband got a job over in Canada, and they went and lived in Canada for a while as well. And I've always wanted to go. So yeah, let's just quickly going off about the White Six first. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I think there's a lot of people who've had ups and downs meeting people. But yeah, the best there is. Have we said the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be? Yeah.
I don't believe.
Yeah. Always. Well, I've got some Bret Hart shades. I've been looking for them everywhere. I bought them when I met him, and I do not know where they are at the moment. I need to excel a few. Well, that's the plan. That is the plan. Now, shall I do it? Shall I just go? Let's go for it.
I've got Waterloo watermelon. That's what I.
So I don't know how you can split the G on that. I'm not sure how you can split the the W and the watermelon.
Well, there's I can split the W maybe.
Okay. Well, how will you tell though if it's in a can? You'd have to have it in a glass.
Well, it's already.
I don't want to poo-poo. I don't want to poutine on you, but so right, I'm gonna go for it. Okay, you ready?
Go, choke. Gotta be lined up perfectly. Come on.
Oh man, I drank too much. Don't know if you can see.
Oh damn! See that? Yeah.
Well below the G. And I did spill a little bit earlier on, so it threw me off. No, man, I didn't excellently execute it.
Damn it!
Here he is. The best stream there was. Oh, I don't know why I'm clicking on comments. They can see it at the bottom. Thank you, Don. Thank you, Al. I was going to say that. Everybody's Al to me.
Bring him up. That's all right.
Yeah. The best stream though. Hey, check out Night Owl Movie Talk. He's doing some really cool watch parties at the moment, or commentaries. They're out on all different formats as well. I listen to him as a podcast, and I also watch him live when I wake up in time. So yeah, it's pretty good. He did a really good Fight Club one the other night, or morning or evening or wherever you are. So let's get this film started. Let's get this going. Are you ready? So there is a link to it on the director's page. He's posted it fully free on YouTube. It's 15 seconds in after an advert, and I'll give you time to find that, guys, and set that up if you're watching along with us. If you're double screening that mother, and let's do this. Play. Let's go.
And of course, mine froze.
Yeah, there he is, and we get to see Bret walking down the backstage area. You get to see people spell Bret with 2 T's in a lot of the signs as well in these things. It kind of winds me up when I see signs spelt wrong, but then I'm thinking like, I don't know, man. I care less about that the older I get. The Pug Bat Foundation. I like the Pug or the Bat Pug connection as well would be quite good.
Yeah. That would be all right.
Managed by the Prof of the South. Oh, yeah. Professor Macabre with the big, easy now, the big megaphone would be incredible.
Oh, that would be nice.
He's got that. Yeah. So it's got this kind of really interesting, dramatic music in the background of the documentary, hasn't it? It's like Eastern chanting, which it instantly reminds you're watching a documentary and not a wrestling show.
Yeah.
So that works. Hey, where'd you get that? Sorry, I keep clicking on things, but you can see they're there. I can see them at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, but if they're watching on a phone, you can't really see it.
That's true. Just know you all have love. Oh, he has a megaphone in red and black color scheme. Nice.
All right. So what timestamp are you at? Because mine
1 minute.
Restart it.
Okay, so we're off to a flying start.
Yeah, we're doing
1 minute, 52, 53, 54. And it's showing Bret going around different places and just being a goddamn hero.
Let's see. Because, yeah.
We just clicked on 2 minutes 8, 2 minutes 8, 2 minutes 9, 2 minutes 10.
I'm almost there. I'm trying to get it because I actually have the Vinegar Syndrome Blu-ray of this because I'm a nerd.
Because you've caught the Vinegar Syndrome.
I did. All right. Is he in his walking down the hotel thing right now?
Yeah,
Okay.
yes. With
All right.
who invented the bag on wheels?
I don't know, but I love those.
And when did
Those are
they? When
incredible.
they've not been around forever. Like they just happened, and then everybody had them.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, it made it so much easier.
I need to get myself a Calgary Hitmen shirt.
Yeah, yeah. In fact, the hat he's wearing, I would love to have one of those with the Hitman
It's nice.
symbol.
I tell you, I think it's like the Roots of Fight, or there's definitely the ones who do like the Muhammad Ali t-shirts and stuff like that. I think they do some Hitman stuff that looks pretty cool, but it's like super expensive.
Of course, of course. Yeah, I got this shirt. I want to say WWF shop or WWE shop. Whatever.
I used to buy a lot from them back in the day. Get them
Same.
shipped over to the UK.
I have a closet full of WWE shirts that no longer fit. So
I've got like an SCU Stone Cold one, the original Austin 360. They've fallen apart. I got a WrestleMania 13 one specifically for when I met him. Yeah, it's really cool that Bret is like just kind of in a really cool, chilled part of his life where he also doesn't give a damn what he says. So if somebody goes, "So you're here for the big event," and he goes, "Yeah, I don't really like the way they do it now," like he just says whatever he wants, which is amazing. But he just seemed, when I met him anyway, so probably 5-6 years ago now, he seemed really cool and chilled and relaxed then. But I think like he's got over those big health issues, and he just seems happy in his life and settled. And that's the best you can hope for in the wrestling business, really, because they get, it's not a natural thing to have so much abuse on your body.
yeah, yeah. It's kind of a miracle that he's in as good a shape as he is.
Yeah,
Still.
and the guy's had such horrible luck.
Yeah,
health-wise, like crashes and stuff.
So I watched an interview with Bret that was taken 10 years after this movie, and it was the interview kind of about the movie, and he now that was what 2008 I think. So like then he was even still like screw Vince, do the like he's a piece of crap, blah blah blah. But then he went back for one more little run, which always
it's one of those, isn't it, where that's what always happens in wrestling. It's like it's like CM Punk is currently in Saudi Arabia after absolutely annihilating the Miz on social media for doing exactly the same thing 5 years ago. And then when he's apologising, everyone's thinking, I hope he's licking Mike Mizzanin's boots right now, because he should be doing the hypocrite. Anyway, Bret, on the other hand, much like Where Do You Get That, saying he has always been a straight shooter, and I think that's what people admire about him. The thing is, people believe in his character because they believe in him as a person, as a decent guy. Now, we don't know him personally, and we have to be careful not to have like completely parasocial relationships. But over the worst you hear about him is that maybe he had an eye for the ladies, but then he got a divorce, so he was okay to have an eye for the ladies for a bit. And then he, and he takes himself seriously. Well, yeah, because he wants to be the best at his job, and he's driven. And most people have that ambition of being really good at their job. And I don't think he's walked over people to get where he was. If anything, he was too honest. So yeah, I mean, the other thing about this bit is where he's taking his shirt off here, and there's like the thing is like people forget how much of a heartthrob he was for the ladies.
Yeah, dude. Like he was built, and he was, he was a good looking dude,
Yeah, and he was in The Simpsons as well. Was Goldberg in The Simpsons? Bill Goldberg.
No. Bill Goldberg? Hell no. Yeah. But that's sort of the thing I always liked about Bret too. He always seemed genuine.
Yeah.
No matter what he did.
That's Vince Russo, bro.
So like, yeah, like I love Vince Russo.
Sorry, I had to say bro when I say. I think every time you see Vince Russo, you have to say bro.
You just have to say bro. Yeah.
Yeah.
Vince Russo, bro. Yeah.
Vince Russo, bro.
And then okay, so the Hart Foundation faction was pretty incredible. I mean, you had
It was
Bret,
amazing. Yeah.
Anvil, Bulldog, Owen, and Pillman.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. How can you top that?
Yeah.
Like
Pillman was great. Pillman was having so much fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's funny because the modern, when they tried to bring back the Hart Foundation on the indies and a little bit, and there's like Teddy Hart was a real loose cannon to the point where he could not function in wrestling.
Yeah. Well, he's
apparently he's bonkers. He is wild.
Yeah, poor guy. Yeah, I don't know.
Tell him Hawk is the LOD. Do you know? Well, I think that Hawk would have been, if he had gone on his own in the WCW. He there was one match where he had against Ric Flair, world title match, and you think he had it all. He could have been the absolute. He could have been a single star Hawk. He had the voice, he had the look, he had the body, he had the ability. Like, he could have done it.
If he could have stayed straight, I definitely think he could have been massive.
Yeah. That's true. That's what it is. Speaking of staying straight, here's Goldust camping it up behind the scenes, and then like going through. When he was going through those periods. Bill Goldust.
Bill Goldust.
where he's going through those periods of like, I hated Goldust and hated being that character, and then it's like, I'm really proud of that character and I love that character. Here's a question for you, Al, from Professor Macabre. Would wrestling have been the same if the Montreal Screwjob hadn't have happened?
I don't believe. I think because that happened, it pushed everything even further into not reality, but like further into more reality based stuff, which is sort of half of where we are now. They've kind of walked away from that a little bit, but they kind of lean into it more. And so, yeah, no, if that wouldn't have happened, I don't think wrestling would be the way it is right now.
I would say as well that Vince. Oh, look, there's Sonny. Sorry, I'm distracted.
Some sunny days. Some sunny days.
Yeah. Oh, the irony of Sean saying that, and then he's the one actually having the affair with her.
Right.
But then again, Sonny. Anyway, I completely forgot what we were saying. Oh, that we wouldn't have got the Vince McMahon character. Things would have gone very different.
That was the impetus of that character, which became Austin's greatest rival, really.
Yeah.
So that was, and the business they did back then, shit.
Yeah. And like if like Larry's saying, hey Larry, another 3BB brother. Larry was saying, would he have stayed? And like, I guess without the screw job, if he'd have stayed, things might have been different. Would they? I think he'd have got frustrated, because if Stone Cold had kept building up, he would have been top regardless. He was an unstoppable freight train. So if Bret had stayed, I don't know, it'd have been difficult. He'd have got on really well with Stone Cold. But there's only so many times they could wrestle each other. But having said that, how many times did John Cena wrestle Randy Orton? So like,
didn't they just wrestle like last week or something?
Yeah, it's like possible that like Bret and Stone Cold could have wrestled together at the top of the card for 5 years. The only issue would have been Shawn, and depending on his injuries and stuff. So go get him, champ.
Well, okay, so about I don't think Bret would have stayed, because Vince reneged on the 20-year contract, and that's why he was leaving to go to WCW to begin with.
Yeah, it wasn't just because of the screw job. Yeah.
So that was in motion way before all that. Yeah.
But I guess like Professor Macabre was saying, like if he'd have still left, but the screw job didn't happen, say they left amicably. In a way, I think it would have meant his move to WCW maybe would have pushed WCW on more. But then again, they had to have something to do with him, and they had nothing. They had nothing for him. They didn't know what to do with him.
They did jack crap with Bret Hart. They knew nothing. I mean, yeah, they gave him the title and stuff, but like he didn't it just didn't work. Because by the time Bret went to WCW, WCW was already on the downslope.
Yeah, I do actually enjoy the period where Vince Russo was writing. If I watch back old WCW, I'm more likely to either go like peak NWO, or watch the Vince Russo taking over kind of period of time, because it's actually quite entertaining, but only because it's kind of bonkers and silly.
I was gonna say, is it because it's so insane?
Yeah, totally.
Because like I watched WCW up to the very end. I watched it up to the very end. Like, yeah, it was like those last like 2 or 3 years were just really that was just insane.
But I liked not knowing what was going to happen every week. So like whether Scott Steiner was going to come out and just say a load of abusive stuff, or like Mark Madden was going to say something just like wildly offensive.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know, man. But then, yeah, it's like a butterfly effect, isn't it? So if this didn't happen, then everything else would have happened slightly differently. And would he have not been wrestling against Bill Goldberg and got kicked in the head? And what like it's all like a little butterfly wings of the screw job.
Yeah.
And the thing is, we're still talking about the screw job in this thing now, because we know that that's the ultimate end of this film, essentially. We also do get a nice, if you're writing this film, if you could write this film, getting to punch Vince McMahon in the face, like knock him to the ground, is a great conclusion to a film. When with all this build up, talking about him as a father figure, blah 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 blah.
Right.
And also, by the way, I can't think of anything worse than if I was having to go and train in the dungeon with Stu Hart going,
oh my god,
just like twisting my arms, and oh my word, he looks like such a vicious fucker.
Even at like 80, he looked like he was made of freaking stone. Like,
oh man,
and like he would just tear you up. He didn't care he could barely move. He'd catch you and just destroy you.
He makes all his kids look like wusses.
Yeah. 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 In fact, as somebody said, I think I want to say Harley Race said that Stu was born 3,000 years too late, and he would have made a great caveman.
Yeah, it just makes you wonder what any woman could see in him, because it's just like a guy going, yeah, just give it the big bastard, like just like it's crazy, just digging people's eyes out with his thumbs.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. There's the like obviously trying to meet his dad's expectations for him being the absolute, best one in the family at wrestling. There's a lot of pressure for Bret. And then he had the same kind of thing with Vince. But at least I think what Bret does really well is he looks at things with objectivity. So even now, he's said he's one of the few people who's come out and said about what's happened with Vince recently and how reprehensible it is. There's not many other people who are doing that. And he will still kind of say, well, I respected him and I, had a lot of, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't make him look good saying these things about him because he's had such a history with him, but at least he's honest and open about it.
Yeah.
Just by the by, when we're watching this, all the little clips that are shooting by some of the best matches, like the Mr. Perfect.
I know. I'm just watching. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that one. Yeah.
Oh man, and like putting the figure four leg lock around the
ring post.
Sort of, around the ring post.
Which Bret invented.
It was the most vicious thing ever. And guys, if you really are into wrestling, and that just reminded me because everybody calls the second rope Bret's rope now because of the elbow thing. But that came from a podcast, YouTube show called OSW Review with some Irish guys that run that, which is amazing. And they named it Bret's rope, and it's just kind of taken off now. Everybody calls the second rope Bret's rope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had so many like signature moves that like the Russian leg sweep, the leg drop,
backbreaker.
Yeah, backbreaker, like all like atomic drop, like all of it, like
I put somebody in the sharpshooter, and to prove to them that wrestling was, not fake.
Yeah.
And they cried, and then I felt really bad.
You're like, see, it really does hurt.
I was like, I guess I put it on properly. I guess I strapped that bad boy in properly.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So Larry was saying he really got into WCW. I did as well. It's strangely,
Yep.
I think I get into things when whichever one's losing is the one I kind of back. Maybe that's a very British thing. We definitely like underdogs. So like I was into them. My friend had the N64 WCW game, so that's how I got to know a lot of the wrestlers in there. And then also we had WCW Worldwide in the early 90s, so we got to see the ones before that. So there's a gap in between. And then you had to have Sky TV to watch WWE, so I had to WWF had to make friends. I had to make friends with people who had Sky television so that I could watch. I'll get them to record it for me. So Larry's saying, he really got into WCW. Professor Macarbo, Stu Hart was an effed up, angry version of Mickey from Rocky. Yeah, right. He'll murder at you, Rock. He'll murder at you, Bret.
Yeah, kind of, sort of.
I love the fact he's saying, like, when he won the title, all the wrestlers came out and lifted him up.
Yeah.
Obviously, somebody's told them to go out, because there's no way they would go out without the okay of the head honcho, the Grand Fromage.
Yeah, for sure. And dude, I'm looking in that ring right now, and like so many of those people are gone now. That is crazy. Yeah. How many of those people in that ring are gone?
Did you hear about the Scott Hall thing where he said he lost respect for Bret Hart when he went to his house and saw that the whole place was like a shrine to himself? I just reminded me because of all those pictures of him, which kind of is a very Scott Hall thing to say, you know.
Yeah.
He can't take himself or anyone else seriously.
Too sweet.
So we've got Onion Savaya saying Bret Hart almost single-handedly made wrestling real in the imagination of young at heart. Lovely sentiments.
Definitely.
Nice.
I mean,
it's real.
He was so believable. Yeah, he was so believable. Yeah. Like, and I think really like guys like him and Benoit and like Dean Malenko. Those I love those guys. Like, those are my guys. Like those, like wrestling
technicians. Yeah, technicians. Yeah, and you could get on board with them as well. Yeah, you can get on board and say like, this guy is my guy, like because I know why or how he does what he's doing, like Kurt Hennig or whoever. Or Bobby Eaton is the perfect example. Like if you're a Bobby Eaton fan, I know you know wrestling.
Yeah, very true.
Like Barry Windham. Like those are people, like just really good. Larry's favorite was the Iceman Dean Malenko.
Yeah, there you go. Remember when Malenko was number one in the PWI?
It was really hard to get hold of the PWI stuff, so I probably wouldn't have known that. I only ever got a couple of them. You had to get them on import, those magazines.
Yeah. But
there was nobody else. There was nobody else from the Hart family here who you think is going to make it, like Keith and Bruce and all. There's Owen's obviously an incredible technician. Owen and Bret were the two, really, weren't they? Like
they really were. Like the rest of them, they were good, but they weren't great like Bret and Owen were.
Yeah, I've seen a few Stampede things, and like you can see some similarities with like Bruce and Keith and the other ones, but it's not. Yeah, Owen and Bret. Diana Hart looks really nice in this thing. This is before I think the sort of relationship with Davey had kind of soured and drugs had got involved and stuff. Because her book is really harrowing. I've read her book and it's really sad. But she looked so beautiful in this when she was being interviewed before.
Mm-hmm.
Is this one of the headbangers getting stretched by Stu?
It kind of looks like it.
Or just some dude.
It's just some dude. I think. Yeah, I don't really recognize him, but yeah, he does have a headbangerish type of look to him here.
Yeah, Mosher and Thrash.
I love how Stu just barely moves his arm. He's like, ah.
Yeah, he's just like, he just moves 1 inch and the person's like whole shoulder is never going to be the same again.
No. Great.
Oh man! Can you imagine like somebody trying to rob Stu Hart at the convenience store or something, and they just end up evacuating their trousers all over the floor?
That would be great. That reminds me of the Brian Danielson. Somebody tried to rob his house or something, and he was there, and so he put him in a chokehold until the cops got there.
Yeah, it's like when I interviewed Leslie Hoffman, who's a stunt woman in so many great films, and she was telling me the story about Jean LaBelle, and like people, whoever underestimated him would end up looking really stupid. And I guess the ultimate one is like Bruce Lee, but I know that he did make Steven Seagal urinate in his pants. That's pretty cool. The Mojo Priest peed himself.
The Mojo Priest, baby. That's right.
Put some mojo on it, Priest. That's what I remember from when I watched him live. Bret is contemplative here. He looks like a real hero as well. This is like, it's almost like this documentary. I think it's almost like a Western with the showdown at the end.
Yeah, I see that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they kind of build it up that way. Yeah.
Yeah. Look at this lighting here. Look at the brooding, man.
And I also love how simple the dungeon is. Like it's a mat, wooden, just like wood walls.
Yeah.
That's it. Just all right, let's go.
It scares me. Things like this, it takes me back because I remember I did some judo training when I was a kid. I did a few other things. I did all the different things, and I remember I did judo with this guy who was like a blind judo bronze medalist, and he got me in this room, and the mat stank, and we did the training and everything, and he just threw me onto my like side of my body, and you could just hear all my bones crunching. I must have been like 12 or something, and like he couldn't see me. He was like almost completely blind by this point. And the guy just took me apart. He just reminds me of that, like no frills, wooden room, mats that are about that thin, and you're just getting absolutely pasted. And then that's your lesson. Your lesson is like take it and come back next week.
Yeah, similar to the beginning wrestling people.
Yeah. Oh, John Shelton's here. He's a massive Bret Hart fan. And Sharky and George. Snark and Sass. Sorry, I do apologise. I hate it when people say things about the Nick Pugwall when I go online. Get it wrong.
Pugwall guy, sure.
The Pugwall guy, yeah. Mojo Priest baptized himself. Oh, wow. So he's now, what, is he a reverend? Reverend Mojo Priest? Oh, I see.
He's now the almighty Mojo.
He's gonna. The next step for Seagal is to declare himself as a god.
I mean, you know, he kind of is.
He's the Glimmer Man, after all.
But yeah, but I also have the massive autobiography of the Hitman as well.
It's a weighty tome. That's a good one for hitting people with to try and rob you.
This is a nice hefty look. Look how thick that is.
That's a big boy.
It's a nice boom. Yeah,
that's a big BOI.
Very good book, by the way. Highly recommended.
Yeah. There's no point getting that. If you can't read, there's no point getting that.
But you know, if you can't read, learn. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, here's Vince. There's old school Vince with a dicky bow.
Yes. Back when we didn't know he owned the company.
Yeah. The only thing we thought about him was, is that a wig? Well, that black and white picture of Bret with the belt on, that's from his first reign. I remember that picture being used a lot. Yeah, I had to get the Smack 'em Whack 'em VHS to see his first reign when he beat Ric Flair.
Yeah, I don't remember how I saw it. I think I rented a VHS tape or something.
That's the only way you could get it. Yeah, Coliseum Home Video. I don't know. Do you have Coliseum Home Video in the USA?
Yes. Yeah. It was the same as Coliseum Home Video. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how I saw it. I rented it from somewhere. Who knows where?
That Smack 'em Whack 'em also have the ladder match with Bret and Shawn on it.
Yes.
VHS.
Which is now on the DVD collection, which I also have. It's behind me, buried somewhere, but it's right behind me.
think I should take more pictures where my arms are folded like that.
Good. And then of course, the infamous meme of Bret watching the television.
Yeah. I think Bret being on The Simpsons is a really good little cultural moment as well.
Oh yeah,
that's what she said. Oh, you've got that on VHS and DVD as well, John. Awesome.
nice.
Sick.
I wish I had the hair that Bret still has to this day. Because I'm very not.
The sad thing is when it comes to hair, and I can say this as somebody who my dad is 90 and my dad still has a full head of hair. You either have it or you don't.
And you don't.
You can spend loads of money on it, or you can have like a little chia pet transplant in Turkey or whatever.
Yeah,
and still it won't look right. If I was going bald, I would do exactly the same as you. I would go full all off, man.
Oh yeah, dude. I do. I just I kind of keep the sides a little, and that's about it. Yeah.
Go full. Go full Gilbert.
That's right.
I'm sorry, Goldberg, not Gilbert.
Now Bret versus Gilbert. Now that would have been amazing.
Yeah. I like Gilbert a lot.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
Good old Dwayne.
Look at this hydrotherapy here. It seems very chilled. Just
he does.
Blowing water out, man.
And you can tell this was the 90s because it's still full frame.
Yes. Yeah. Look at that. Yeah. Bret just high-fived that kid who was dressed in full weird Shawn Michaels cap and leathers.
Yeah, see, so he didn't quite hate him.
Congratulations.
Unbelievable. Wow. Yeah.
Shut up.
Now that's the IC belt right there. That's the Intercontinental belt. That's a beautiful belt.
Yeah. Any belt collectors in the
belt, they all need to come back.
Yeah, I was gonna. We were talking about belts earlier on. Myself and Al do not own any replicas. But I was saying if I was going to, I would have the black IC belt or the Winged Eagle, like in the middle of our. No, other way. No, that way. There. Al will point out.
There.
Then I would definitely have those. But what other belts are worth having? I guess the big gold. I don't know, man. I would definitely wouldn't take belts to wrestling events, though. I mean, if you're going to do that, you might as well just have a big sign saying "I'm a virgin" on it.
Yeah, I don't get the obsession with the belts with people. I don't quite get it because, like, number one, you didn't win it, or you weren't.
Hang on, I did. You're telling me I didn't win this belt? Hang on.
Unless Vince McMahon wanted you to win that belt.
I remember when I beat Dolph Ziggler for this, so it was either a dream or...
okay.
Yeah, no, that's like a £2 plastic belt that my wife got me from Sainsbury's, but it's still pretty cool. We just missed The Simpsons. The thing that always made me laugh about that was that the Bret Hart on The Simpsons has a much deeper voice than the real Bret Hart.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a wrestler voice.
Mm-hmm. They didn't make it deeper.
Or you could be like George Lucas, where forehead seems to get smaller as he grows older. That's interesting. What is his hair getting? Is his hair taking over his face? Is he becoming an Ewok? Or
maybe. Yeah, possibly.
Mm.
So at this point, he was still married. He was still married to Julie at this point, right?
Yeah, he was married to Julie. Yeah. So you can tell Julie and Bret are like childhood sweethearts kind of marriage.
Well, he's had 2 more marriages since then, so.
Yeah. I'm gonna try and write WCW on the screen when Bret does it later on as well. Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. What's the best wrestling music ever? Probably Bret's.
Oh man. I mean, like strictly wrestling, because they've used real songs for certain people.
Yeah. Some of them give me goosebumps as well.
I mean, Bret's is definitely up there for sure. Yeah, I know Bret's, Austin's is real good too.
I have a
Dun,
pl-
dun.
I have a play. Yeah, I have a playlist, and there was one I was trying to think of earlier on, and I was like, I don't know if many people, you know, are into this in the same way as me. And I was trying to think that I've listened to it a lot. Let me have a look. So I'll try and remember what it. Oh, Wolfpack. The NWO Wolfpack is a good one.
Yeah, yeah,
The original Four Horsemen theme is very, very good. I like Jake Snake Roberts. Trust Me.
yeah.
Um,
Jake's was pretty
that,
interesting. Yeah,
that's pretty cool. I like I Walk Alone. I like that. Batista is good.
yeah. Got
Um, let's have a look. What else have we got? Mr. Perfect was good.
dun,
Um,
dun, dun, yeah.
let's see.
Speaking of
I
Mr.
really
Perfect,
like
the
Mr. Perfect. Good. Go on.
the matches Bret had with Mr. Perfect were
Oh
primo.
man, pretty much perfect.
Great stuff.
Yeah.
Great,
What
great stuff.
about what about what about with my baby tonight? Spend my
It was
days working
catchy. I
hard
will
on
say
the
it was
go.
catchy.
Hands on the clock, keep spinning too slow. Let's see if the viewer count goes down while I keep singing that. Gangrel and the Brood,
Yeah,
DX,
the DX
um,
song was great too. Yeah,
yeah, My Time, Triple H. I quite like that one. I also liked He's Just a Common Man.
I was just about to say I just saw Dusty and I was like, yes.
Yeah, yeah. Basic Ergonomics was pretty good. The original Shinsuke tune. Let's see, what else have we got? I like Asuka's song.
I like Finn Balor's song. The
Finn
like,
Balor's Catch Your
the,
Breath. Yeah,
Catch Your Breath,
the
yeah,
demon one.
that one's
Yeah,
really good too.
yeah. Christian, Where to Go? Go! That was a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, just close your
Cult
eyes.
of Personality still works. Rob Van Dam, Walk.
Yeah.
Snap Your Fingers, Snap Your Neck is a good one too.
Now, yeah, ECW had some pretty interesting
Yeah,
variations
licensing.
on songs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Edges. Which Edge
Big
one?
balls, big balls for Balls Mahoney. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, Big Balls. Here to show. What about Grado? Like a Prayer. That's an amazing entrance when Grado does Like a Prayer. I don't know if you've ever seen him in Scotland doing that because he couldn't use it in America.
Yeah.
Ricky the Dragon Steamboat song that was good. SOS that was good.
Oh, Kofi Kingston, yeah.
American Badass, Hard Times, Big Boss Man.
Yeah. So what did you think of the American Badass Undertaker? Did you
See, yeah, at the
listen to that?
time I was like, but now I think it was pretty cool.
Yeah, kind of looking back on it, it was like, oh, cool. It's kind of a little different, different
Yeah,
thing for him.
yeah.
Yeah.
I am American Badass. Watch me get in
Now, you see,
control and rock.
I
And you
actually
can suck
equate
my.
I actually equate the Limp Bizkit song more than the Kid Rock
Yeah,
one.
yeah. I liked it because it was the first one when he came
Yeah.
back. But yeah, I know what you mean. Let's see. I think the Brood
Well,
is up there.
there's a-
Eddie Guerrero's is good.
we're missing the Canadian Stampede.
Oh, again, if I was to recommend an event for people to watch, Canadian Stampede is one of my favorites of all time. Like the crowd, that's the wildest crowd ever as well.
It really was. Like it was the crowd. I mean, the matches were great, but the crowd really made it even more than what it was.
It is iconic when Stone Cold's in the wrist the bracelets or whatever we call them, handcuffs, and he's like still flipping them off as he's being taken away.
Yeah,
Oh, that's so good.
yeah. It's beautiful.
I think my favorite call, just completely going off at a tangent, my favorite call ever is like in WrestleMania 13, and Stone Cold is choking Bret on the electrical wire, and Jerry Lawler goes, it's still got power to it, and Jim Ross goes, "You're damn right, it's got power to it. It's if it's in the hand of Stone Cold."
Oh man. I love Jim Ross. I really do.
Yeah.
He made everything so much better back then.
He's in like, God bless him, the grumpiest man ever.
By the way, he is cancer free. He just announced it a
Yeah,
day or
that's
two ago.
really, really cool.
Yeah.
I quite like.
It, though.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's awesome. I'm gonna go through some more music as well. I quite liked Evolution's music. Texas Tornadoes music was very good.
I don't think I remember. I don't think I remember Tornado. I don't think I remember Carrie's music.
That was good in the WWE. Very good. Quite like the Young Bucks when they had Super Kick Party. That was good.
That's a catchy ass song. I don't care. I don't care if you like the Bucks or not. That's a catchy ass song.
Yeah.
Do you know?
I know. No, the dad was it.
Their dad, yes, their dad wrote it. Yeah.
Oh wow! Did you? Larry mentioned Metalingus Alter Bridge as well.
Yeah. Metalingus is great. Judas, Fozzy.
Judas, yeah. I quite liked the Kenny Omega sort of theme, not the one he has now, but the sort of computer gamey one that he had. I can't remember what that was called. I don't know what that was called. What else? Oh, I like. I don't think he has it anymore, but Adam Hangman Page's Ghost Town Triumph. That was amazing.
He might still use that.
They still use that one, and Darby Allin's theme's pretty cool. There's some good modern ones. You just have to find it. Yeah, that's really cool. I quite like Roman's one, and Keith Lee's original tune in the WWE was fucking awesome.
Yeah, I like. Oh God, what was it?
LA Knights is good too.
I like Swerve's song.
Oh Swerve. Yeah, that is good. Also, when Sting had Seek and Destroy.
Yeah.
I used to play that to my neighbors when they were causing problems.
The Final Countdown, Bryan Danielson.
Oh yeah. I quite like LA Knight's new one. I don't mind it. I like. I quite like Hook.
I don't watch WWE regularly, so I like at all. So
yeah, I'm a bit the same now because now I have more access to W. I went through a big AEW period. Now I have more access to. Yes, Rhea Ripley's theme. Thank you. Yes, when she kicks her foot down and the thing goes up. Yeah, that's amazing. Kane's unused OG theme. Ooh,
have you heard Julia Hart's theme?
No, is it kind of spooky? Is she still spooky?
Yeah. That song's killer too.
Yeah.
Like it's sort of similar to Rhea Ripley's sort of.
Oh, okay.
But like it's not. It's more like gothy, I guess.
That's a really important point. Professor Macabre, after hearing the story behind Bret and the Bulldog's big UK match where Bret had to carry the whole match because the Bulldog was in bad shape, elevated my respect for Bret even more. Yeah, that's true. That's a story worth listening to for sure. Yeah. Here's Triple H. I didn't have anything to do with it later on in the no, I swear to God, I didn't know. Well, you'll know. And Julie Hart's like, well, God knows, and God is going to strike you down for what you did. Does that look just like my Julie Hart impression? It's one of my best.
That was I thought I was looking at Julie Hart.
I was doing. Yeah, there's Julie Hart and Julia Hart.
Julia Hart. Yeah, no relation. Julia is not related.
Oh man. Wonder what Julie Hart's doing right now.
I wonder.
Yeah.
Well, all of Bret's kids are now adults, right? So
yeah, man. Yeah, they'll all be like 40. I don't know. They can't be 40, but yeah. Yeah, Rhea Ripley's theme. I'll give it up for Rhea Ripley's theme. That's awesome. Yeah, it kind of gets me quite emotional. It gets me into like it makes her into a star. It adds the extra 2% that makes her into a big star.
Randy Orton also always had a good song. Like I think Randy always had a good song from the game.
Yeah, and he wanted to change from because I think he had 2, didn't he, before Voices, and then he wanted to change from Voices, and they were like, nah, You can't.
You're like, nah, bro. That's you.
And he
you
was
now.
like, why not? He was like, why not?
Yeah.
Bret,
some of the games had really good songs too that were not used as themes. Like,
yeah.
I don't remember which game because I had quite a few. But they had one. It was this rapper named Nobody Famous, I think was the name of the guy.
Aptly named because you can't remember who he is.
The song was called "Go Hard," and that song is banging. Look that up. Nobody Famous, Go Hard. That song is
the
killer.
only thing I remember from my WWE games was I think it was No Mercy or WrestleMania 2000. Where it's like you're creating your character and it's like dick diggity dog. Dick diggity dog. Do you remember that? Jericho, yeah, has some good themes. Jericho. Yeah, first theme went to CM Punk. Yeah. I quite liked the first CM Punk theme before he moved to Cult Personality. I quite like that. We're talking over the submission match.
Oh yeah, we are.
Look, there's a guy printed out Austin 316 onto like dot matrix printer paper to hold up. I'll tell you one thing I'll say about Bret. When he spits, he can really hock a loogie.
He can, man. Yeah. He certainly can. And okay, so that WrestleMania 13 match, like, I completely understand why it's your favorite match because it's so like perfect, pretty much from start to finish.
It's cinema. It's cinema.
And the fact that they both turn, and it completely works on both sides.
Yeah.
It's and that's the magic of professional wrestling.
Oh, totally. Do you not think as well, like you had to, in order for that to happen, they had to have trusted each other completely?
Yeah. Well, you can tell how the way they talk about each other now, like how much respect they had for each other.
And it's funny how different they are, how less of a shit when they got the award, how like Stone Cold was just like, well, I'm just going to drink a beer. And like Bret wanted to talk forever about the trust and respect they had for each other. And like Stone Cold was like, well, I don't know. Goddamn, son, I want to drink a beer with Bret Hart. And that was it.
Yeah, let's get into a beer.
Yeah. CM Punk was just kind of stood there going like, I can't have a beer.
He's like, I'm just standing here, bro.
I'm just here. I'm over here. He looks old, Stone Cold. Considering he's straight edge, CM Punk looks older than Bret and Stone Cold.
Yeah.
It is absolutely bonkers to think that this was filmed during what happened to be the most pivotal moment. You're right, Philippe. You are totally right. Bret's crying. I love how the American fans responded so differently, how a lot of them did to everywhere else. Do you think he would see? I think yes. I think as a technician, he'd probably be an AEW guy, like wrestling Will Ospreay or Kenny Omega or something. I think if he was around now.
Yeah, definitely. And everybody give AEW crap, but you know what? It is a good alternative.
To the if you're a wrestling fan, if you're a wrestling fan, you should want it to succeed. Yeah, it makes no sense. It makes no sense.
Yeah. I don't get all the hate. It's like, well, if you don't like it, just don't watch it.
Don't watch it. Yeah. I want it to be good.
So, yeah. I mean, I was, especially in the early days, I was like a hardcore AEW fan. And I've kind of fallen off a little bit. I mean, I still watch it, but not as regularly as I did.
Same. There was a period where it was must-watch TV for me.
Yeah, same. Like during the pandemic and stuff, it was beautiful.
For me, it was the build up to Adam Page.
Yeah.
That was an incredible story, and I really bought into him. And the whole thing, it felt everyone was going in the right direction. But now I feel like now we're in a rebuild with them. They're like kind of building up.
Yeah, I don't want to say it's almost like they're coasting right now. They're just letting stuff
it's
happen.
Hard. It's a bit like a school. So like often failing schools, the reason that they fail is because they think that everything they do is perfect, and it's like they don't have like a very objective opinion of themselves. And
Yeah.
I think that I I think it's difficult for AEW to be objective when you. It's very like strangely, it's very much like a Vince McMahon thing where there's one person calling all the shots, and no matter what you say and who they bring in, it's one person calling all the shots. And like when things don't go well, the answer is always I'll do more and I'll take on more and I'll decide more and I'll
Yeah.
take those things off the other people. When like you do need to have to a certain degree a singular vision, but it's the people who are helping you achieve that vision have got to have voices that are listened to as well. And I
True.
think at the moment, even though we may be in danger of Triple H going exactly the same way, because absolute power corrupts absolutely. However, he is not, and this is the issue with him and The Rock and people like that, is that he's only in charge of the creative. He's not in charge of the whole company. Whereas Tony is in charge of the whole thing. So it's interesting. It's an interesting time. I feel like maybe WWE sort of peaked with Cody's first reign. Again, they had a real peak. I feel like AEW peaked when they kind of were really on a high and got Punk and MJF was flying and and that kind of air. And then both of them are not quite where they were. However, WWE isn't a competitor to AEW anymore. It's like a McDonald's or it's like Disneyland or something. It will always do well. The interesting thing is the company that owns it losing money so much over the things they've invested in, UFC and Power Slap and all this kind of stuff. It'd be interesting to see like it being run like a proper business and how that is going to affect, like people being sacked all the time regularly and the people not giving a crap about it because it's just part of the they're looking at them and they're looking at them objectively and going, this person doesn't add enough to the product, so they need to go. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be a weird period because I don't think either of them are at their absolute zenith at the moment.
No, definitely not. In fact, I actually haven't watched a current wrestling show in probably 2 or 3 months at least.
Right.
It's not that I don't care. I don't know. I'm just kind of right now. I'm in a period where
there's no off season, is there?
Yeah, I don't think I'm missing much. So
no, you're not, and that's the weird thing.
Like, well, you know what? I'll go back to it eventually, but like right now, I'm good. I'm kind of wrestled out in a way.
I get what you're saying. So, pop quiz, hot shots. The Pugback Foundation of Tag Team Championship match against Bret and Owen. Could you win and take the belt? No.
If it was maybe a sandwich eating competition or something. Maybe.
I'm up for that. Maybe if Owen turned on Bret and kicked his leg out of his leg. That's why I kick your leg out of your leg. Maybe we'd have a chance even then. I don't know. I don't even know what our finishing move would be.
I say we just do the heart attack, huh?
Yeah, that would really rub salt in the wounds. Yeah. I've still got my Cactus Jack t-shirt somewhere as well.
There you go.
Yeah. Bye-bye. I was supposed to watch Survivor Series a while ago by Matt. Didn't we watch? We watched Royal Rumble as well. Rob and Don and Larry. We watched the Royal Rumble.
Like the most recent one.
Yeah, with Jey Uso when Don knows his. I know Don knows his stuff about everything, but Don knows his stuff particularly about wrestling. It was amazing. It was really good fun, and it was really good. It was really good to have like a 4-man chat about wrestling, particularly because I think Rob was saying about mainly his knowledge was kind of 80s wrestling, so it was a bit of an unusual thing to have like Logan Paul and people popping up.
Right. Like, who's this guy? Yeah.
Who's this guy? Yeah. Do you remember when they had the American football guy do the commentary on an In Your House, and he kept going, "How much does he weigh?" And like,
yeah, I do remember
that. What's his name? He looks like a big person.
Oh,
I think we did.
guy? Yeah.
I think we did watch a Survivor Series as well, or we watched a WrestleMania or something. It all blends into one, to be honest. I used to remember everything.
That's
and then they changed what everything was.
That's your old age, there, buddy.
Yeah. Too many Guinnesses.
We're almost as old as Bret was here.
Yeah, man. It kind of makes me feel young seeing that because this is his peak.
Yeah, and he looks younger than both of us right here.
That's true. Am I in my peak? No, you're not. Well, I was thinking about this the other day. I'm the same age now as my dad was when I was born.
Yeah.
Which is bonkers. Meadowlands, New Jersey. I love the fact that this is a very sparsely made documentary in the sense of the graphics and everything are like Times New Roman, and the film just starts. There isn't a lot. Yeah. You make the rules and we will break them. There was a peak dickhead Shawn Michaels there.
Yeah.
The frustrating thing is, still like him. Still liked him, even when I hated him. I liked him.
Well, okay.
I mean, that damn good.
Shawn was an incredible worker.
Yeah.
Even
and he was cool.
Even when he was the mega dick.
Yeah, he was still cool. He was still cool. He was amazing in the ring, and I loved him when I hated him. If that makes sense. I just couldn't take my eyes off him. I obviously, I think at this point, Power Slam magazine would have told me that Bret and Shawn hated each other. So that was a great British magazine. If you can ever get any on eBay, there's a British wrestling magazine called Power Slam, and that was the only one that really talked about behind kayfabe stuff.
Neat.
Sorry, just doing my impression of Shawn when he was. I think it became like a suck it Tourette's with him at some point. So he was literally couldn't stop himself saying it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember when he started pointing at people in the crowd and saying that they were sucking cocks and stuff, and he was playing with the balls and doing that to them? Nobody clipped that. Don't clip that. That I just did.
No, this SummerSlam match though, dude. This match, I remember watching this live and just being blown away by this match. It's so good.
I remember watching this and thinking, oh, Bret's actually got the Undertaker work, because this isn't when Undertaker was known for having great matches. I think Hell in the Cell and this are the ones where you think, oh, he's actually a really good worker. He moved away from the character stuff, and then obviously he had the incredible matches with Shawn Michaels. I love how the music is telling us that this is real. This isn't part of the storyline. I think maybe it's just saying that that Bret's not trusting anyone around. Even when it's scripted, he doesn't trust the fact that they'll follow the script properly.
Right.
And that's maybe what the music is telling us.
Which ultimately is what happened.
Which is true. Yeah, he was right. Yeah. He was right. He was right to be what's the word? Paranoid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's paranoid. He thinks everyone's out to get him, and they really were. Yeah, SummerSlam '97. I think I've still got the VHS of that somewhere.
I do too, actually.
Yeah, I remember I used to go on holiday, get a little bit of holiday money, and I'd go to Woolworths and I'd buy one WWF VHS because for some reason they had them in the Woolworths in Wales or wherever it was as well. And then I'd get the receipt and I fold it up to remember the date when I bought it and put it inside the box and have it inside the VHS. Yeah, I'm an old man. Isn't one of his kids called Beans or something?
I think that's his nickname or something. Yeah.
Hmm.
Or I don't know. Yeah, his kids have weird names. One's
Blade,
Blade. Yeah.
Beans.
His kids have weird names, unfortunately.
Yeah. It was weird when he was having his picture taken holding the belt there, and he had like no trousers on and just all top half clothes on. It looked like he just forgot to put it. It's like they do a thing on, I think it's OSW Review, like most naked wrestler. So like if a wrestler doesn't wear like knee pads or elbow pads and just wears the little shorts, then they look completely naked. But if you have like knee pads on or wristbands or headband, then you look a bit less naked.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of true. There are moments when wrestlers look really naked, and then there's moments where they're wearing not very much and they don't look naked. It's like breaking up the lines, I guess. Look at that. To be fair, that's his home gym, and he's got a massive picture of himself. Yeah, I also have the same thing over
there. of yourself, though, right?
Yeah, of myself. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
My tiny muscles, and I'm wearing Bret Hart glasses, and
yeah,
I'm like mugging myself.
Professor Macabro asks a pretty interesting question. If you would pick any female wrestler to be your manager / valet, who would you pick?
Prime Sunny.
Yeah.
Prime Sunny. I got to take my chances.
I would probably go. I'd probably go Sensational Sherry, just because I know she could take care of any problems I had.
I was thinking the same thing. That's why I chose Sunny. I was thinking she might be able to take care of some of my problems.
I was also a big Beulah fan.
Oh, I bet
back
you were.
In the day. Good old Beulah McGillicuddy.
Yeah, lay a meow. Bret's got the gold glasses Bret figure in his fish tank, which I think is probably poisoning his fish.
It might have been.
His fish died later that day. Yeah, I've got two Bret Harts from that era, and they are actually I think they're both the pink glasses. What was that? Yeah. There is a new retros WWE where you can get Anvil and Bret in the
nice
in a two pack, which I've been tempted to get because I do have a figure of everyone in the. I wanted to get everyone in the Hart Foundation. The only one I don't have is the Anvil.
Oh, nice.
So I have a WCW Brian Pillman British Bulldog. I've got my most expensive figure that I got, which was I got Owen Hart. Here he is, which is high energy Owen Hart.
There you
go. I do have an Anvil. I'm sorry, I do have an Anvil. Maybe I won't buy it. I just totally forgot I had it. So new foundation. Sorry. New foundation, and then I've got for some reason I've seen you before my two Brets, which is my new sitcom that's coming out. So yeah, I do actually have a figure of everyone in the Hart Foundation. I got rid of all my Hasbros and I just kept those. I did keep a Ted DiBiase one because I met Ted DiBiase and he was really nice. So I was like, And I interviewed Ted DiBiase as well.
Yes, that's probably one of the few that we've both met because I've met Ted DiBiase as well.
Did he give you any money? He didn't give me anything.
He did not, but he did pose it for a
picture. So this is where WWE is going in a different direction.
The
long of the days of good guys and bad guys is rather passé. Shawn, when you first see Shawn Michaels, you do not think he would have a voice like that.
No.
You think he's got the toughest tough guy voice, yet he looks like a girly man. Girly man.
Well, you know he did pose for Playgirl. Yeah.
Yeah, Bret wouldn't shut up about that, would he? I want to have a beard like Anvil. I can just go like that and pull it.
I know, just go. Yeah.
Do you know when he says?
I'm always jealous of that.
When he's going through one of my favorite bits early on in the film, we've missed it now, but where he's going through a promo with Bret and he's like, we're hard and we're going to leave no men untested. And then they giggle and go, no, you can't say that. I always liked it in DX when I'm sure people had the DX VHSs I go because when they were scared or someone was trying to scare them, then they do their full like the Scott Hall and Kevin Nash thing where they'd look at each other and go,
yeah,
like they were scared.
cool.
Yeah. The click were funny. The click had some funny stuff. Look, and here's Sean really playing with Bret's kid. Playing with Bret's kid while wearing some Bret glasses, I think. I never noticed that bit before.
Oh, yeah. Sure enough. Yeah. You see, Sean's not such a bad guy. See?
He's not a bad guy.
Not a bad guy.
Just everybody says he. Yeah. The subtitles just said your gays are numbered. I'm pretty sure he said your days are numbered. I'm going to count out all your gays.
Be like, typo.
He wants out 20-year contracts. I can't think of anything else. Even in football, like in professional football, there was a footballer in the UK who got a 5-year contract last season, and everyone was like, "That's ridiculous! Like that's insane." And he's actually been done for performance-enhancing drugs as well. But 5 years contract is unheard of. 3 is bonkers. But the word of the day today is bonkers, by the way. But to have give somebody a 20-year contract is crazy in the coconut.
Yeah, I remember hearing about it when he got that contract, and I was like, "Damn, that is crazy." Even back then,
like, that's insane.
Whoa,
who does a job for 20 years? Like, I worked in one school for 14 years, and I felt like that was like it felt like half my life. So to expect someone to work for you for 20 years from your 40s. You're starting in your 40s, so he's 20, he's going to be in there till he's 60. And the other thing about Bret is, like, what a great artist he is.
Yes, actually, in the book, him
and Jerry Lawler both are great artists.
He did the artwork for the front of the book right there. Yeah.
That is cool.
Very, very cool.
That Yokozuna picture that he does is very funny.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I would have signed a 20-year contract too if I was him. Yeah.
Why? Yeah, of course. Yeah. And then I would be like, you need to break your contract. Nope.
And
like,
I want to say it was for what, like 25 million or something ridiculous.
Crazy, like,
yeah. I know it was over $1 million a year.
Yeah, man, what I would give for $1 million a year,
right?
I don't even know. I don't. Yeah, it's unfathomable. And then I'd refuse to leave, and then I'd do a big WCW and smash a monitor. I wonder if you could get a monitor just like those monitors that they had and go to an event and get Bret to sign it. That would be one of the coolest things.
That would be cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be really unique. I always try and get unique things for people to sign. Like I got David Arquette to sign a little mini WCW title belt at a horror convention, and he just kind of looked at me like,
all right, bro.
Yeah. Can't be a great good guy, and I can't be a great bad guy. Interesting.
That was a great promo too. When he spit at him, he was like, "This place is shit." Oh yeah. He's like, "You're a piece of shit."
Guy on the front row with a BWO sign. Look at Bret's fax machine there. Does anyone use fax machines now?
Shockingly, yes. People do still use fax machines.
Can you imagine if you had one and then all of a sudden one would start coming through and you'd be like, what the hell is happening?
What? Yeah. Yeah, people come to the library to try to fax stuff.
Wow.
And some libraries do. Ours doesn't, but
that's crazy though, because like what you can scan on your phone. Oh, no.
Yeah,
I never liked this guy. I'd always see
more
clips of
official.
this guy. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I bet your solicitors and like probably still have them. This guy, I used to see him clips from his on off the record, on the record, whatever it was, and I was like, it felt like he was gonna like it was gonna be shoot stuff, but then it wasn't really shoot stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, very bad sexual stuff.
I don't think you watch wrestling for the sex. Yeah. Well, Bret was always like the moral compass,
Yeah.
like the moral code.
Yeah, definitely. And the answer in the WWF is we don't want to insult your intelligence, pal. Same old simplistic theory of good guys versus bad guys. I remember this. I also remember watching the Bret thing with his big shiner.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, Bret hit you. Tatanka screwed Tatanka. Pardon? It wouldn't work with anybody else, would it? If he came out and he's like, Bob Sparkplug Holly screwed Bob Sparkplug Holly.
Indeed.
There he is, Mr. 5-star match.
5-star. Boom.
I give you 8 stars out of 5 for this one. Yeah, cheers, Dave.
Yeah, his star system just needs to stop.
Yeah, I mean, have you seen any pictures of his office, Dave Meltzer's office? It's just covered in paper. It's just like a bomb site. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. Dave Meltzer on a pole match. That's what they need in AEW. Will Ospreay versus Kenny Omega. Dave Meltzer on a pole. In the Budokan Hall. In the Egg Dome. The Egg Dome. They say he was a crybaby as well. Bret was a crybaby.
I think right before the screw job, I think I remember hearing that Bret was going to go to WCW.
Yeah.
I kind of vaguely remember that.
Power Slam. I think it was in Power Slam.
Yeah.
Everything I got all my information from Power Slam. But then I don't think there was the internet then, or if there was, like, I remember early wrestling things. I remember WrestleZone website. I don't know if this was around. Probably not then.
WrestleZone is still around now. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember WrestleZone, WrestleCrap as well.
WrestleCrap. I usually use Wrestling Inc.
I don't know if I follow anything there. Maybe a couple of people on Twitter, but I use social media as like a news thing. So like I don't follow many people, but I get lots of news. It's the honky tonk man.
Well, I remember Honky Tonk in an interview too, talking about the screw job. He was like, "How could that happen, bro?"
Yeah, honky tonk man. The Animals, Dave Baptista, John Cena. I think the funniest wrestler of all time is Santino Morella's got to be up there.
Oh,
God, yeah. Randy Orton's.
John Cena.
The Manimal, Dave Baptista. Yeah.
That or like the I remember when I was little, I used to get a kick out of the Rebo Man.
And when you get older and you watch him, like he's possibly one of the most boring wrestlers to watch.
Yeah. And he was like, and hit his little voice, and it was like it was funny.
And when you realized he was in Demolition, you were like, why can't we just have that?
Yeah, right. It's like, wait, that was Smash. What?
Yeah. Here comes the Smasher.
Oh, and funny story. Remember earlier I was telling you about driving behind them, going into the arena. That night, the Hart Foundation fought Demolition. And it was before Crush got on TV, he was doing house shows.
Oh yeah.
So we were like, "Who's this weird guy with accents?"
Yeah.
And why is he teaming with them?
And that's before he had about 15 weeks consecutively a #1 with "Everything I Do It for You."
That's right. Right. Good old
That was
Brian.
I think that was the summer of '69, actually.
Could have been. Could have been.
Yeah.
But he cut like a knife. Yeah.
Cut like a knife-edged chop. But now he's in heaven.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Oh, too soon.
And I love this too. He's like, I talked to Earl. I can trust Earl. I was like, oh shit, dude. Like, yeah.
You can trust Earl, but you can't trust Dave.
That's right. And
or was it really the other way around?
It was
Which
really
one's
Dave.
the evil?
Yeah. Yeah, I remember all that craziness too.
I reckon this bit's staged. I feel like he probably wouldn't sit down with his dad and get advice off him like this. Somehow, I just feel like he's so removed from it. He's like got no, like his dad has no input really.
Yeah. He missed 2 shows in 14 years.
I think he talks to his to Julie the most about it because the camera always switches off once they start getting into it about the situation. Oh, thinking about our younger years.
So what do you what do you think of him not wanting to drop the belt to Shawn in Canada?
Right. So wrestling's a work. I get it.
Yeah.
But I think he deserved some sort of decency. But the thing is, it's Vince's toy, and it's his play set, and it's his sandpit, and I get all that. I get that whole thing. But really, what it comes down to is somebody wanting to be treated fairly by their boss, and their boss going, "But I'm your boss. I don't have to treat you fairly."
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I can sort of see both sides. That's the crazy part.
Yeah. I can. I think maybe recent events has soured me to anything that Vince does.
Yeah, I mean, we all know he's a piece of garbage, but
Yeah.
To say it lightly, but
he's a piece of crap.
Yeah.
God damn it. Do you remember when like South Park and wrestling kind of crossed quite a lot, where like the New Age Outlaws wore like South Park stuff and people did DX dressed as South Park characters?
Yeah, kind of.
It was weird. It was like them, Limp Bizkit, and wrestling were all kind of Kid Rock, all lumped in together.
Mm-hmm. Those were the days, man. Those were
the days, my friend. I thought they would never end, but they did.
And I mean, like I get it, but I also understand that after the show, he was no longer going to be under contract to Vince.
Yeah.
So
there's got to be an element where in wrestling,
I totally get Vince. Yeah, I totally get Vince's like, no, you need to drop the belt. Like, tonight.
Well, yeah, I mean, he did the same thing with Moolah and Rockin' Robin, and he screwed her in exactly the same way.
Yeah,
he just doesn't trust the performer because the performer is just like a monkey to him,
Right.
Yeah, of course, it benefits them all to think that they all have this special father-son relationship with him, but they don't.
I mean, I take Bret at his word. I think Bret would have gone on the next night and
he's probably the only one you could trust to do it. It's not like he was going to go and drop this in the bin or whatever.
In the bin, like Medusa, right? Yeah.
Yeah, like I'll do a Shane Douglas or what have you.
Yeah.
Julie is very mumsy, isn't she?
Yeah.
But she's also the kind of mum where I think she'd go into school and really tell the teacher what she thought of him.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't mess with her.
Oh. Man, I used to think Sonny was incredible. I could never understand why they all kind of got behind Sable as much as they did, because I was like, Sonny was.
Well, I think partially because Sonny was already having problems with
issues, yeah,
and whatnot, and affairs,
Did
and
did
all that
you?
stuff.
We can cut this out of this, but did you get the Sable Playboy?
I did not. I was not a Sable fan at all.
I wasn't, but five of us went and bought the Playboy after school. We went and bought it. And then we were like, what the hell are we going to do with this? Where are we going to hide this?
That's funny.
Nice.
Hey, Anthony. How's it going?
Yeah. So you need to get on to go to 2017, I reckon. It's a good year.
It's a good year for the Roses.
It was what a good year for the Roses.
That's right.
Get Vince there pretending to be a human.
I bet he hated doing that too.
Yeah.
Like that was probably the stuff he hated the most.
We could just have a big schmoz. This was the first time I think I heard the word schmoz.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, we just have a big schmoz. Bret wears a wire. Previously on Dragnet. Vince's orifice.
Did you know? Have you noticed the ladies' dressing room is right by Vince's office?
Yeah, you have to walk right past him.
Just saying.
Oh, there's Savio Vega, Julie's best friend.
There you go.
I love the fact that they put Razor Ramon when Savio first came in. It was like they're going to be best friends because one's from Cuba and the other one's from
Puerto Rico.
So yeah, that's fine. They're both not
that's
American.
The same, right? Yeah, totally the same. Yeah.
Quang. No, Quang. He wasn't Quang, was he?
We see. Okay, so Quang. That was the time when I wasn't watching WWF at all. I was only watching WCW.
The Quanga, that was Fatu, I think. That was Rikishi, I think. The old Quanga.
Yeah, there was about a 3 or 4 year period where I didn't watch WWF at all. Like,
I want to say I had different periods when I didn't have friends who could record it for me.
Yeah, I was
no rich friends.
For a little bit of a time, I was definitely a WCW guy because they had Sting and Flair and all these, Arn Anderson, all these guys that could really wrestle. And so we had
WCW on Bravo briefly near the end, like all the way up to the simulcast. You could watch the simulcast. You could watch WCW on Bravo, and you could watch WWF on Sky. So you could actually watch whichever one you wanted. I actually watched the WCW one when it was like, I hold your future in my hand promo. Raw is War it's so good. Is it so funny that they had Raw and Raw is War as two different shows so that they could be on the ratings twice?
Yeah. And I think one of them was called the War Zone or something.
The War Zone and Raw is War.
Yeah. Just weird little stuff they used to do.
So from his first retirement, like first injury-based retirement, when Shawn came back, he never looked as cool. He just couldn't. I don't know. He just never looked as good.
I think when Shawn came back from that like 4-year stretch where he didn't wrestle, I think that was peak Shawn Michaels. Like that was top notch.
Oh, his matches were good, but I just mean he didn't. Yeah, he just didn't look like his costumes kind of looked strange in that era, and his the way he carried himself just wasn't as. I think because he didn't have that snot-nosed dickhead attitude as much.
Right.
He wasn't as cool, but yeah, you're right. His matches were excellent.
His matches were phenomenal, and I think if he would not have come back and had that incredible second run that
Mm.
he wouldn't be talked about in
Yeah.
the upper echelon of wrestlers like he is now.
Yeah, and it's weird, isn't it, that people were kind of like, oh, still talk about Bret, but Bret hasn't had as many, didn't wrestle for as long.
Yeah.
And like literally hardly had any decent matches in WCW. I can only really think of like the Benoit match and
The Benoit match, right? Yeah.
yeah. Thanks, Bill Goldberg.
Oh, Bill Goldberg. He prefers Goldberg.
Oh, does he?
Bill
I'm
Goldberg.
sorry, Bill Goldberg. That's the humor side of him as well. I think the Canadian sense of humor is very similar to the British sense of humor.
The Brits, yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. And then of course my favorite is the El Dandy promo, but
yeah. Don't you besmirch the name of El Dandy. And here we are. We've had the moment that has been watched and replayed and talked about more than any moment in wrestling, maybe.
That or maybe Foley going off the cage. That's probably the two biggest.
When he says, "Can you stop saying that I got tossed off the cage?" Because that means something very different.
Yeah, that means something entirely different. Yes.
Yeah. So funny.
And also, did you notice how fast Vince was out there?
Yeah, he's
like.
I get that. I know why. I get why he does that, because it's like someone when they do something bad, like it's like when somebody does like a murder and then they get interviewed by the TV. It's like that. For some reason, there's a compulsion to there's a little tell that you have to kind of almost own up for it or take responsibility for it.
Yeah.
Also, I think he's protecting Shawn as well.
Yeah. Well, that's why Triple H was out there too.
Yeah. Oh, big tough guy.
Yeah.
When Triple H's the voyage of Triple H's voice over the years, what happened to him to make his voice go so deep? And is it just because Vince has a deep voice?
I don't know.
Because he used to have quite a high voice and like quite a snotty kind of voice, and then
his balls finally dropped. I don't know.
Maybe that's it. You're right. You've worked it out.
Just it took a while from all the steroids and stuff.
Yeah, that's it. He knocked off the steroids, and then all of a sudden he was like, "Hey, how's it going, pal?" The Triple H where he goes all flabby when they all stop taking steroids is a really telling. He has the little roid belly.
Uh-huh.
Pop-Tarts, nice. What have you got? What flavour? I like some strawberry ones myself. I think I might have some funny wrestling clips here just before we get into the serious part of what's happening at the end of this film.
3,
2. That's not the one.
It's Bret.
It's not that one.
No.
No, man. I did have a really good wrestling.
Third time's a charm, perhaps?
Maybe. I thought for sure that was the one. But I was wrong.
Ooh, blueberry. Nice choice.
Oh, yeah. I think I've had blueberry. We don't have as much choice over here, I'm afraid. We're here in the third world. Our Pop-Tarts are not quite as varied.
I didn't even realize Blade is wearing a Survivor Series shirt.
Oh wow! I wonder if he still has it.
I wonder. I would.
Blade carries a little razor in his wrist tape just in case he has to blade.
Yeah.
Or in his eyebrow. Oh, cool! Jeepers Creepers 3. Nice.
I love how everyone's walking around like oh shit.
Oh man, yeah. It depends whether you're a nosy bastard and you want to know what's going on, or you just don't want to get involved and you just get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
This is where she tells Triple H.
I love Julie.
Tells him, and he can't even look her in the eye.
Shit. Yeah.
Someday God is going to strike you down, and it did as well. That's why Triple H had that medical emergency a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
because
he can no longer wrestle. Yep.
Yeah, it's Julie Hart.
It's all because of Julie. It took a few years, but
she put a curse on him like Danhausen. You get the Julie Hart curse. Goes around, comes around. One day you'll run the whole company, and you won't even have to answer to Vince, and you'll be married to his daughter, and you will give her 3 or 4 children. I can't even remember. And you'll make lots of money, and your show will be on Netflix. That'll teach you. No cameras. Except now in this place with Bret.
Yeah.
I drilled him.
Somehow Vince ran into my hands.
Yeah, I drilled him. Best. There goes my hero. Watch him as he goes.
Knocked him right out. I would with footage of him knocking out Vince. That would have been
Vince staggering.
I love Vince hobbling out too. Like
so
it's great.
Wobbling from side to side. So only the funniest other Vince thing is when he popped both of his quads.
Yeah.
And sat there telling him off like he was playing a game of Duck Duck Goose.
Indeed.
Stu Hart judgment call, he called it.
I mean,
punching somebody in the face.
I mean, what else could you do? You know,
it must have been a good punch because he seemed so like all the weight of the world just left him. He just felt so much better after hitting him.
Yeah, the infamous Bret screwed Bret.
Bret screws Bret. The irony of him being a 14-year-old relationship that they had, but he's giving him a 20-year contract.
I don't know, but I remember just being glued to the TV back then. Like, this was so like amazing to watch, like unfold.
Yeah,
like it was captivating. Like you couldn't keep your eyes off it.
If you had one person you could talk to about this, then you were lucky. Because for me, there wasn't a lot of wrestling fans around.
There was a little bit of a fan, you know. There was I had a little bit of a group, yeah.
The Wolf Pack, the Bat Pack.
That's right.
Yeah. Anytime anyone eats anything and it's too sweet, I always have to do that, even if they can't see. I hide it under the eye. Yeah. Like, oh, how was your cup of tea? It was always a bit too sweet, and I'm like dead quickly when they're not looking. I'm like,
we should,
brother.
We should come up with a hand signal.
Yeah. Bat signal. I don't know. What's bat signal?
Yeah.
This is where Bret Hart is. It cuts together stuff from different points, isn't it? As well, like to illustrate the story. Some of it's dotted about all over the. Let's watch something funny before the end.
Goes out of the bottom line. The Constantino Marella says. There you have it. Stolen property. Watch the Monday Night Raw here tonight live from Raleigh, North Carolina.
Shake it, baby, shake it, mama, shake it, mama, shake it, mama.
Tell you something about Bill Goldberg. Everybody talks about Bill Goldberg. Well, there's one guy that can beat Bill Goldberg, and it's me. He prefers to just be called Goldberg. Tell him to say it to my face. Say it to my face, Bill Goldberg.
You have a big mouth, John Cena, and there's nothing I would like more for Christmas than a chance to shot it.
In fact, it's happened, and we literally Bret has left and gone to WCW.
Yes,
you got
Bret
a big
is now
mouth,
WCW.
Lucard.
And there you go. He's walking off with his dad, and
he got to say,
F this guy.
he still got to say it to my face, Bill Goldberg.
He did. Oh man, it's such a well put together documentary though.
It is. They've got a lot to work with. I bet the hardest part was working out what to leave out.
And
it might have been easier to do it if you're not a wrestling fan.
Possibly, but okay. But I did see an interview with Paul J, the director, and he
was a wrestling fan.
he was fascinated by what was happening currently in the wrestling business. So I guess this is skewed in a way. Hey, if you need to order the video, you can call the 1-800 number. I never realized that.
I'm going to ring Gene Okerlund's wrestling line later on as well.
Yeah, the wrestling hotline. That's right.
Yeah.
1-900-909, whatever.
You're right, though. It is a very well put together movie.
It is, and if you're a fan of Bret Hart, I think it's a must-have.
Yeah.
or at least a must-watch.
Yeah, you can get the just the vanilla version of it on VHS or DVD for pennies.
Yeah, or you can get the Canadian International Pictures release by Vinegar Syndrome. Yeah,
you can. However, it's hard. I was trying to get the Vinegar Syndrome. I think it's Vinegar Syndrome. I've done Dirty Work. You've got Dirty Work, and I couldn't get it over here. I could not get it. So, and I love Norm Macdonald. I was literally note to self, buy this DVD, and then I didn't. So, yeah.
Oh man, yeah, and international stuff is weird.
It's for the birds. That was really good fun, though. What? Go ahead. No, you go.
No, I was gonna say, look at how long it took Mr. Blobby comic to get to me. So
yeah, that's true, man. I'll get. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put an order in for any DVDs I want. Get you to send them over to me.
That might work better.
And I'll pay. Yeah, and I'll pay for the postage.
Yeah.
You just have to do it tracked, I think. Oh no, I did it tracked the first time, and they sent it back. It took 4 months to send it back to me, and then was it longer? Was it 6 months? I don't know.
Something like it's crazy.
And then I sent it exactly the same way the second time, and it got to you within a week or so.
Like a week, yeah. So go fit, right?
Yeah, it's like that joke, isn't it? It's like I got a job work. I got a letter through the mail saying that I'm starting to work for the Royal Mail. I start last week.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, that was really good fun. I wonder if anybody in the chat is up for us watching Beyond the Mat at some point, but I've only got it on VHS. But
Beyond the Mat, MATT.
Beyond the Mat, yeah, that would be how I'd change my name under the thing. It'd be Beyond the Mat. Yeah. Oh man.
And by the way, the Al the Batman Lucard, we each came up with that separately.
Yeah, that's so weird.
Which is hilarious because I came on, I'm like, oh look, he put it down there, and I was like, oh
yeah, I did that at 10 o'clock this morning.
That's too funny.
So maybe 8 or 9 hours before you joined and had that as your name. That's so weird. Same. So oh man, that was really good. Thank you so much for everybody who's joined us in the comments, all you good people. all my
Yes.
fan friends. Al, I'm going to try and finish every stream with an emergency question from Richard Herring's Emergency Questions book. Would you like one?
Ooh, absolutely. I would
So,
love an emergency question.
This is Richard Herring's Emergency Questions book. Look how much it cost me. £2.
Woohoo, expensivo.
So just tell me when to stop, and I will stop.
All right. Stop it. Stop.
Okay. So you can have anything from 794 to 798 question number.
797.
797. Okay. Why does the day after Boxing Day not get a special name too? Can't we give all the names between 27th and 30th of December special cool names too?
I'm down for that. Because why not? Let's see.
That doesn't feel like a question, really.
It doesn't really feel like a question, but I'm all for it. I think Boxing Day should be a holiday here as well.
Yeah, as I say, it's a stupid question for an American. I've got the next question. 793 is a bit better, I think.
Okay, what's that one?
If all money was made of chocolate, what would you eat most of it before, or would you spend most of it?
I would probably eat some, but I think I would spend most of it.
Yeah. These are the big questions that we solve on Bret Hart or Hitman Hart Wrestling with Shadows live stream. I hope people have enjoyed it. But frankly, I don't care. I got a message from you can go to hell, son. Still our hero, I think, after watching that. Would you agree?
Oh yeah, he's still my number one. I think will always be.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Even though some people think he's just a bitter old guy now, but whatever.
Yeah, well,
I don't care.
So am I. Yeah,
right.
Yeah. The
Exactly.
older I get, the more I'm in tune with Bret I am.
Yeah.
So
true. So true.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. Any final thoughts?
Don't screw with the Hitman, otherwise Matt and I will come after you.
Yeah, we're coming hard.
We are.
We're coming hard for you. Yeah,
we're coming very hard.
I don't think we should finish on that. I think we need to finish on something else.
Or should we?
Oh, yeah. I remember Bret Hart. No, it wasn't Bret Hart. Brock Lesnar was doing that. He was like, "And I'm coming hard." That was the last time I saw it. Yeah. So I guess that's the end of that. No, I really enjoyed that, and wrestling things for us to watch in the future beyond the mat.
Yes. I have a couple of ideas too. I'll run by you later.
Oh, cool. I was going to say, I think maybe 2.5 years ago, we said we were going to watch Ready to Rumble.
That probably sounds about right. So yeah, we probably need to do that one too.
Let's get ready to rumble. Well,
ready to rumble.
Say goodnight, Al.
Good night, Al.
Look, it's Bret the Hitman Hart. Go get him, champ.